With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Welcome back trackside once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Colonial Clash Racing Series fires things off right here at the world's fastest half-mile Bristol Motor Speedway. Gonna host tonight's Thunder Ridge 100 miles around this half-mile track, 200 laps. We're gonna see who could walk away with the checkered flag here tonight. Will Brandon Medford conquer the concrete here at Bristol and go back-to-back visits to victory lane? We're going to find out shortly. How you doing? How you feeling out there in TV land, race fans? Glad you could all join us here tonight. As always, Dave of the Cave bringing you all the calls from trackside. Cool concrete track out there tonight, 72 degrees track temperature, so drivers should have quite a bit of grip. So we're going to get rid of that track information to go ahead and throw up some of your qualifying standings coming into this 5-minute qualifying session. We'll drop those timing and scoring over to the left-hand side of your screen, and it looks like we're going to have a little bit of problems with that. We'll try it one more time here. Troy Radford going to go top of the speed charts. Now Brandon Medford going to move ahead of him. Radford going to move back to second. Quick time here in qualifying belonging to that 83 of Brandon Medford. 1461 for Medford. Cody Giles, quick time for that. Number 6, he's going to slot in second. Radford going to move back to third. Spencer Teal in fourth. Thad Failer back in fifth. Dustin Franklin, Brandon Pamitat, Ricky Gonzalez, John Gutekunst, and Scott Klonfelter rounding out your top 10 here in qualifying. With just about halfway off of the stopwatch, the music is going to fade away into the background, and we're going to have a clearer picture of how this 18-car field will line up here tonight. All 5 previous race winners are in the field here tonight. So really, when you come to the Coliseum, or what we like to call the last great Coliseum here at Bristol Motor Speedway, you got to be aggressive, but you got to be cautious. It's a long night, a long race, 200 laps. Stage break, lap number 50. All right, so you got yourself some time to ride around, see what's going on with the truck, see how it's reacting, where the track's heading. It's going to be a good night for strategy. You're going to have at least 1 round of green flag pit stops, if not 2 rounds, if we get that long green flag run here tonight. And will we see some beat and banging? A little bit of cage rattling, so to speak, going on here at the last great Coliseum. Everybody already done with qualifying. Looks like John Garrett a little bit off pace in his Lickum and Stickum number 66. Footwear screen printing Chevy Silverado. Garrett gonna jump up through the speed charts, but only going to sit in 11th. Tough little run here in qualifying is now 15 drivers on the speed charts. Thomas Smalling, Ray Radford, Scott Baker, and Tyler Woodard yet to put in a time lap. And with just about 30 seconds remaining, it's safe to say nobody going to get a shot at it. Walking away with the pole position here tonight, he will lead them to the green flag inside of that 83. Once again at the front, Brandon Medford will take your pole position. We're going to step away for just a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back with your national anthem and your starting lineup live here from Bristol.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And back trackside as drivers make their way through pre-race inspection into the starting grid. We're going to get a little closer to the action as these guys get set to sail 200 laps around this concrete monster. That's right, Bristol Motor Speedway hosting tonight's Thunder Ridge 100. It looks like most of the field has made their way to their starting positions as the music begins to play in the background. It's time to run down your starting lineup here tonight for the Thunder Ridge 100, starting inside row number 1, your pole sitter. Inside of that, Zoe's place number 83, Charity Motorsports Machine, Brandon Medford will lead him to the green flag. Cody Giles starts just to his outside. Back in row number 2 here tonight, Chris Medford and Troy Radford. Row number 3, Spencer Teal and Thad Thaler. Dustin Franklin and Brandon Pamitat will make up row number 4, and in row number 5 in the Thunder Ridge 100, the 7 of Ricky Gonzalez and the 41 of John Gutekunst. John Garrett and Scott Clodfelter back in row number 6 tonight. Row number 7 from Bristol Motor Speedway, the 65 of James Oot and the 13 of Thad Miller. Zach Woods and Thomas Smalling back in row number 8. Row number 9, Scott Baker and Ray Radford with Tyler Woodard finishing out the field here tonight. What a run, what a night. Are you ready to go short track racing? Let's hear it, all the fans in the stands on their feet. Sold out, packed house once again here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Drivers side by side, ready for some beating and banging, some Saturday night short track action midweek right here with the Colonial Clash Racing Series, brought to you by 1776 Motorsports. Tune in each and every Wednesday night right here with the Turn 3 Racing Network. Music gonna fade away and these engines will come to life as the pace car makes his way off of turn number 4. We're going to get set to roll tonight on the gas, and green flag flies for the first time here from Bristol. Brandon Medford out to a good start. 3 wide already. The 6 on the high side. Here comes the 46 of Chris Medford to the inside. Giles trying to make a move. He's going to move the second. Brandon giving up 2 positions here right on the start of the race, man. They pounced on your race leader. Handful of laps already in our back pocket. We'll go ahead and drop that tummy, and scoring over to the left-hand side of your screen. Fast action at the front of the field. Chris Medford on the start jumped to the inside And he grabbed that race lead by the time they got around. Cody Giles going to take and keep that second position from the start of the race. Brandon Medford falls 2 back into third. Single file racing from Bear on back. Small gaps throughout this field as Giles now looking to the bottom of the track. Making a little bit of headway through the center of the corner, just not getting the forward bite off. We're going to take a look back at the battle right here. Take a look as that Baylor trying to reel in Brandon Medford. A little bit of a rough go here for this Zoe's Place 83 machine of Medford after grabbing the pole position, struggling a little bit early here in this green-black run. Troy Rafford in the Lucky Finn Project. Number 94 machine, he's right there knocking on the door of that 42 machine. Brandon Pamitat with a good qualifying effort as well. Pamitat up 2 positions from 8th to 6th. Some of these trucks flirting with that outside wall. Everybody able to keep it out of the outside wall for the time being. So let's continue to jump around the track and find some racing action. Tell you what, drivers going to be making their way down. It looks like, guys, you're a little bit early there. There it is. Drivers coming through turn number 1 and 2 right there that time around. There's the field, boys. I knew you'd get it. Crazy racing action early here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Medford and Giles going at it for that top spot. You can see him still battling at the front of this field. Drivers going to make their way around and back across the line. Lap number 10 goes on the board. We're going to click them off in a hurry here tonight. Laps under 15 seconds around this half-mile concrete jungle. That is Bristol Motor Speedway. We've got the dirt off. We're back on the concrete and back laying down some rubber here tonight on Wednesday night with the Colonial Clash Racing Truck Series. Looking to the inside is Gonzalez trying to make a pass on Dustin Franklin for the time being. The 74 going to keep that 7th position further on through the field. Holding serve right now is the 41 of John Gutekunst, John Garrett, and Scott Klonfelter. 10th, 11th, 12th on the speedway, all right where they qualify, just kind of biding some time. Looks like they're just kind of hanging out right now. And we'll continue to jump around trying to find some battles out there for you. Right now, this is one of your closest battles with 4 trucks involved. Brandon Pamitat in front of Dustin Franklin, Ricky Gonzalez and Thomas Smalling trying to make a move behind him in that Pro Cup Racing experience. Number 21, Chevy Silverado. Smalling looking for a way around, not able to find it for the moment. 15 laps in as we begin lap number 16. This time by Radford going to move to the bottom. Radford looking for a position on that. Baylor going to keep it high, wide, and handsome. Run that Larson line here at Bristol. We've seen the high line really begin to work in over the course of the past handful of seasons in the NASCAR world, with more and more drivers beginning to run some dirt and get comfortable out there, kind of beating the boards down, banging that right rear off of the wall just a little bit. You may not want to do it with the pavement side of things, but a little bit of damage here at Bristol. No harm, no foul. I'm sure we'll have some crinkled fenders by the end of this one. Meanwhile, while we continue to watch this battle, let's head back to the front. Hot and heavy action for the race lead as Chris Medford continues to lead. Cody Giles looking for a position on the inside of the racetrack, not quite able to pull that pass. Way high on entry that time to turns 1 and 2. Medford giving up that inside lane, and you would think most places inside lane you don't want to give up that track, but he being able to keep that momentum up on the high side here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The banking, you're just kind of able to float it off into the corner, let it ride for a second, and get back on the gas a little bit easy, and you're going to keep a little bit more momentum at the top of the racetrack. Just slightly faster was Giles last time around. They'll pull even through the center of 1 and 2, but the high line still works for Medford. Spencer Teal making a pass on Thad Miller. That's going to be for 13th position. So move Teal a little closer to where he qualified here tonight. Spencer down 8 positions from where he qualified. So a great qualifying effort for that 20 machine, but running a little off pace early here at Bristol. Halfway through stage 1, the one and only stage here tonight, we will see a caution flag on lap number 50. So far looks clean and clear. Everybody settling in early here at Bristol as the sun comes back out from behind the clouds. We'll see how that affects the track temperature of these truck drivers as they continue to lay down the rubber here on this concrete surface. And still, I mean, trying to get it done down there in that Fort Worth Screen Printing Renovations number 6 machine. Coney Giles just cannot make that pass. Your top 2 have stepped away. Let's go to the battle for 3rd position here. Brandon Medford, Thad Baylor, and Troy Radford. They've been running with each other for quite some time, kicking up some dust. The top of the racetrack, the Lucky Pin Project number 94 of Troy Radford scrapes the outside wall. Looking to the inside now on Baylor. He's got the move on entry, but will he have enough speed to carry it off a corner exit? No, he'll pull to the door. Try it one more time. Back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Radford looking for a way around. They'll pull even. Drag race to turn 1. Advantage to Radford. Slide job had a 4. Crossover by Baylor. No crossover attempted here. Radford going to move to 4th as Baylor falls to 5th. We've got a 5-truck battle a little further back through the field. Let's go check this one out. You might as well call it 6 trucks involved. Dustin Franklin, Thomas Spaulding, Ricky Gonzalez all going at it right here on the racetrack. We'll go a little bit further above the track, trying to bring you a little bit more of the action. There you can see back through this field. There's John Gunston, John Garrett going at it, 10th and 11th on the racetrack. Field making its way out of turn number 2 down into turn number 3. We'll see the pack roll by. Everybody still jockeying for position early here at Bristol. Long green flag run underway. John Garrett going to carry it deep into the corner this time around. Back into turn number 3. We'll still watch this battle unfold. Back across the line, 35 laps now on the board, 34 with it in our back pocket. Chris Medford leading every single lap here tonight. Started from the 3rd position, jumped to the inside on the start of the race and grabbed that top spot moving out of turn number 2. And has not looked back, has not relinquished that lead. Medford leads Giles. Back to your pole sitter, Brandon Medford now sitting in 3rd. Troy Radford in 4th with 5th place belonging to 42 of Thad Baylor. Contact with the outside wall for the U.S. Air Force number 48 of Brandon Pamitat. And I'm telling you, we're going to see more and more truck drivers into that outside wall here at Bristol. Last great Coliseum, it's I don't want to say it's as normal as doing it at Darlington, but I mean, Darlington stripe just has a ring. Maybe we gotta come up with something from Bristol like that. I don't know. But I can assure you, the amount of trucks that are going to be clean at the end of this night probably going to be far outweighed by the drivers that have some fender damage, some scrapes on the right side. There you can see the 21 machine. Thomas Smalling, a little scrape of the outside wall as Smalling runs in the 10th position. 6th position up, 10 spots from where he qualified. We apologize, qualifying just outside of your top 15. Now Smalling knocking on the door of a top 5. Still moving forward after falling deep in the field. We're going to go back here. Let's take a look at this 20 machine of Spencer Teal as he's working over the 74 of Dustin Franklin, looking for the 11th position here. The Pro Comp Racing Experience number 20 of Spencer Teal on his way to the front. Big trouble from Gonzalez. Gonzalez into the outside wall. Falling into the outside wall again. So there you go, just kind of hanging out for the majority of this initial run. Spencer Teal dropped 8 positions from where he qualified, now working his way back up inside of the top 10. Once again, look for Teal to possibly have a different approach after our first stage caution coming up here in just about 5 laps. So with the stage right around the corner, let's go to the front and see what's going down. Here comes Brandon Medford. He shot out of a cannon, was 1.3 seconds back, and he closed in quite a bit of hurry. Your pole sitter playing possum here in the Third Ridge 100. Talk about being the meat in the sandwich. Giles, the meat in the Medford sandwich right here. Going to cross the line to lap number 48. Going to go on the board. We're going to have ourselves 2 more laps before the stage caution. Still battling 1, 2, 3 on the track right where they qualified. And oh, James Oot going to have some problems. And this will be your stage caution. Caution flying within 5 laps. This is your stage break here at Bristol, and Oot's gonna have some problems. What do you say we go check the replay, find out what happened to that 65 Ford F-150. And a little bit of contact and a little bit of help down to the inside wall, then the 65. Get a back up to the inside wall, and that lakeside number 65 Ford F-150. James Oot gonna have some problems here tonight. Tough break for Oot as we go back live at the front of the field. There you can see everybody on pit road. So as we are at the quarter way mark, we're gonna step away for just a brief commercial break. We'll head back trackside for all your green flag action right here from Bristol Motor Speedway.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
And back trackside as the pace car lights are out, driver's gonna go double file as we get set to refire here after the stage break. quick stage break. We almost seen that thing run all the way to our stage break. Caution coming out after James Oud has a little bit of help. Contact and a spin on the front stretch. We'll refire it with less than 150 laps remaining here in the Thunder Ridge 100. Get ready to roll, pace car in, and here we go. Green flag flies once again here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Second, not getting going, Cody Giles with a, well, we're just going to call it. That was a terrible restart on that outside lane. Medford deep into the corner. That's going to open up the door. Now Giles going to reassume that second position. Hot on the trail, though, Thomas Smalling making up some positions on pit road. Smalling with a great pit stop exchange. We'll drop that timing and scoring back to the left-hand side of your screen, side by side. Big wiggle there by John Garrett. Big wiggle out of Garrett. You can see the front end twitch. Back in the field behind Thad Failer. They're battling 6th and 7th on the racetrack. We're going to watch this battle for the race lead for just a moment here. And it looks like Medford holding serve once again front of this field. Everybody going to make their way down into turn number 2, chasing after Chris Medford, Cody Giles, Brandon Medford, Thomas Smalling, all right there. We're going to go a little further in the field. Let's go back here to this Hornet's Nest. A little bit of a kerfuffle going on here on the concrete as the sun beginning to set. Clouds beginning to form above the racetrack. Look for this concrete surface to cool off a little bit and give these drivers a little bit more grip, but will it be a false sense of security trouble on the right rear quarter? You can see some crinkles on that 66 machine of John Garrett, who's stuck on the bottom of the track right now. Just kind of looks like a freight train coming on the high side, just truck after truck, utilizing that mid to high lane to make up a handful of positions. Here it is. Can he move up? No. Garrett gonna still be stuck on the bottom. Top 2 stepping away by over a second and a half. Chris Medford and Cody Giles on it here on the restart. Close. Let's go back to the front. Close battle for your race lead. Will we see a third race leader here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway? Lap number 64 going to go on the board. Still digging on the bottom is Giles. We've seen him that entire first run try to make that bottom line work and just not able to do it. Down there catfishing all night long here at Bristol Motor Speedway, but it is just not paying off. And there it is again. He's going to make some runs, but just not able to quite make up the distance that he's needing to get the run off of the corner exit. That's what it's all about. You can close in the center of the corner, that's great, but if you can't get the power down and drive off, center off with that forward bite, it's going to be tough to make the pass happen on that inside lane. And as your top 2 continue to battle with each other, we do have lap traffic just about a half a lap in front of your race leader. So they're continuing to lay down some fast times here, about 3/10 faster than the guys at the rear of the field. We're going to go back to the action, back to the battles. How about this one right here? Dustin Franklin, John Garrett, Thad Failer, all going at it on the racetrack. And I tell you what, we haven't been on board yet. Let's jump on board here with the man behind the wheel of the 74 Chevy Silverado, looking at the tail end of the U.S. Air Force number 48 machine, Brandon Pamitan, just off in front. There you can see Radford and his Lucky Finn project Chevy Silverado sitting in 5th. John Garrett just about 3/10 off. You can see him right behind him in that rear view mirror. As these guys, man, laying down some great laps. There you can see an amazing look back off the tail end of the truck. Cody Giles also with one of our onboard camera shots here, looking back at Thomas Smalling and Brandon Medford going at it for the third and fourth position on the racetrack. They've been able to reel in your race leaders as they continued their battle for the top spot. Back outside of the trucks, we'll move back around the track. Spencer Teal now into the 10th position. Teal slowly beginning to gain those positions lost on the initial start of the race. Teal gave up about 9 positions in total in the first 3 laps, just kind of headed to the tail end of the field and just methodically, slowly but surely brought this Pro Cup racing experience number 20 Chevy Silverado back up into a top 10 position. Scott Clodfelter right behind him there. You can see the iRacing Ford F-150 of Clodfelter running well here, up 1 position tonight. Pretty quiet night for Clodfelter in that 8 machine, buddy. Whoa! John Kudica sideways across the front stretch. Things begin to tighten up at the front of the field. We'll go back here once again. Cody Giles making those runs, but here comes the Smalling in Medford. Brandon making those moves. Your pole sitter here tonight has struggled to lead any sort of laps here. We've seen him come on strong at the tail end of that long green flag run just before that caution flag flew, so no surprise here that Medford quick on the long run. Almost into the outside wall, running a little wide through the center of the corner that time was your race leader, Chris Medford, top of the speedway in his Spartan. Charity Motorsports number 46. Medford trying to get the job done, just not able to do away with Giles. I mean, Cody's throwing everything he's got at him here, the whole kitchen sink on the bottom of the racetrack, but just doesn't matter. Smooth as chicken lips down there, but just can't seem to make it work. High side closing in behind him. Smalling going to make his way into the mix. So what was a 1.5 second advantage for your top 2 is now down to just 0.3. Thomas Smalling bringing along Brandon Medford. They're closing in on your race leaders. Troy Radford, solid top 5 position in his Lucky Finn Project Chevy Silverado. There you can see Radford just off in the distance. They'll come across the start-finish line and head back into turn number 1. Field all chasing after race leader Chris Medford as they head back down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Great camera shots here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Big shout out to all the guys and girls out making it happen week in, week out. Get to bring all of these great camera shots to you live from the last great Coliseum, Bristol Motor Speedway. Battle for the race lead still ensues. Medford and Giles continue to go at it. No real haymakers, and we've got a truck around on the front stretch. That's going to be the 5 of Scott Baker. He's going to go around, have a self-spin. We're going to keep it green flag, though. Looks like race officials going to keep this thing green flag. Racing conditions down there on the apron. Baker able to get it to pit road. So the long green flag run continues here from Bristol Motor Speedway. You're watching the Thunder Ridge 100. Gap beginning to build between the top 2 once again. Smalling losing a little bit of ground, but has been able to move away from Brandon Medford, who is starting to fall back into the clutches of Troy Radford here. Top 5 have a looks to be about a 1.3 second advantage. There you can see that gap back to Brandon Pamitat, who's also in somewhat of a no man's land position right now. Pamitat sitting in 6th position. Spencer Teal picking up a spot on Dustin Franklin. Moved Teal to 8th. Handful of laps away from the halfway point. What a night, what a race here. We're going to begin to give it to you a little bit early because things going to get done quickly here from Bristol Motor Speedway. So just around the corner from your halfway point, we're going to bring it to you a little early. Your driver highlights and spotlights starting at the front of the field. The man showing the way inside. And it looks like we've got a little trouble. So, alrighty then. We're not going to go to that just yet. Looks like we're going to have some issues with that, so we'll keep it. We're going to have to figure this one out on the fly. Chris Medford up 2 positions from where he qualified here tonight. Medford going to move into that top spot. He's led every single lap here as race leaders begin to move in on lap traffic. The man sitting in 2nd, right behind him. There you can see that 6th machine of Cody Giles. Giles has run in that 2nd position all night long. Will he be able to work his way through traffic and follow the leader and keep himself in touch within striking distance? We'll see how it all pans out during this long green flag run. Brandon Medford right here, the driver inside of that Zoe's Place number 83 Charity Motorsports machine, took the pole position, has dropped 2 spots, and now Brandon runs in 3rd. The Pro Cup Racing Experience number 21 Chevy Silverado fighting for the 4th position. Will he be able to hang on, or will he lose the spot to Troy Radford? There you can see Radford sitting in that 5th position. So 4th and 5th all over each other right now, battling for that final spot inside of your top 5. That's going to do it for your driver highlights and spotlights. Meanwhile, we'll move back to your mid-race report. Just past the halfway point, 19 drivers took to the starting grid. We have still got 18 out on the track, but only, I believe it's going to be 12 left on the lead lap. John Garrett in the 66 machine listed in 12th. Last driver on the lead lap as we watch race leader Chris Medford starting to open up a gap on Cody Giles. And we do apologize. We're going to have to break for just a moment. Get graphics and things like that fixed back up. We do apologize. Stay with us. We'll bring you all the information right here live on the Turn 3 Racing Network. A little bit of technical difficulties has got us down, but we are not out. We're going to continue to watch this thing in the background as we get you back all the visual that you need out there, and it looks like they're already working hard on it, and seems to be like we're going to be coming back online here in just a brief moment. Chris Medford is still able to walk away with that top spot. Looks like still having some problems, so we're going to try to get this thing figured out for you, get it all worked out. And that's the thing you gotta love about live TV. Sometimes you get some hiccups, sometimes there's some bugs, but we're always gonna work it out on the back end for you. Gonna keep things rolling here from Bristol Motor Speedway live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Looks like race leader beginning to step away even more here. Chris Medford walking away now with a 1 second advantage. We're gonna bring it back to you live once again. Let's see if we can't get you the feed out there, and it looks like things coming back online once again here from Bristol Motor Speedway. So again, we do apologize, but here we are back on track. Still green flag racing. We brought you all of the action all night long. The 11 drivers now left on the lead lap as race leader Chris Medford stepping away from Cody Giles. Race advantage now 1.4 seconds. This is the biggest race lead we have seen all night. Things stretching out during this long green flag run. "62 laps into this green flag run. We are 12 laps past the halfway point. And good to see our good buddy Doug Wasaki checking in out there, rooting on Charity Motorsports. And tonight it has been pretty dominant. There you can see John Garrett heading to pit road. Is this a scheduled stop for Garrett? We do have a handful of battles. Let's go right here. Let's watch this ensue between Thad Failer and Spencer Teal going at it. The 20 machine looking for position on that 42. Spencer very close to getting back to where he qualified after dropping deep in the field on the start of the race. Spencer slowly but surely making his way back to the front now, just 2 spots from where he qualified. Spencer looking for 6th. Scheduled stop for that 66 machine, looking and sticking. Chevy Silverado of John Garrett. He's going to come to pit road, get 4 fresh tires, and back underway. The 74 of Dustin Franklin now on to pit road for his scheduled stop. This is a round of green flag pit stops. How long will your race leaders stay out? How long or how big is this undercut going to be? We're going to keep our eye right there on Garrett. Came to pit road at lap 112. Zach Woods came to pit road lap 108, so 4 laps before him, but Garrett able to make that leapfrog. We'll see how it all pans out. John 3 laps down, so I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna get all of his laps back, but he should at least get 2 of them back. We'll see how it pans out and plays out over the course of the next 81 laps here from Bristol Motor Speedway. And I know what you're thinking, 81 laps, that's a long time, but it's only 40 miles of a racing here on this concrete surface. You can see the marbles beginning to pile up on the entry of the corner. There you can see them right up next to that wall, and that is what you see, these drivers kicking up that dust here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Battle between 2nd and 3rd now. 74 of Dustin Franklin to the high side. Franklin all ready to pit road, so he's got the advantage with those fresh tires. Brandon Medford closing back in on Cody Giles now, who's lost a handful of ground. Over 3 seconds back now as Medford looking to the bottom, and he'll look to slide up. Not going to clear him. We'll drag race down the backstretch and into turn 3. At a 4 pass will finally be made. Move Brandon Medford back into 2nd position. He's going to make up 1 more spot to get back where he started from. Will Brandon be able to run down his brother at the front? Scott Clodfelter going to bring his Ford F-150 to pit lane this time around. 10th position, going to head to pit lane. That's going to leave us just, it looks to be about 7 drivers left on the lead lap at this point in time. Long green flag pit cycle. The long green flag run. Medford really putting it on him here. Clearing some lap traffic, and Brandon cutting into that race lead pretty mightily right now. Radford gonna move. No, looked like Troy was gonna head to pit lane, and there it is. Radford will head to pit road this time around. He's gonna give up the 4th position. Thomas Smalling gonna move to 4th. Thad Failer, Spencer Teal still out on track. Your top 6 running here at Bristol. So this green flag run nearing the 80 lap mark. Note how many laps are left. We're going to have about 71 laps left this time around, so drivers definitely in that fuel window. This is going to be a one and done stop unless we get a late race caution to shake things up. Back across the line, lap 130 goes on the board. .42 of that Failer going to come to pit road. He's going to give up a handful of positions. Bradford going to move his way back into sixth, but listed first driver 2 laps down. Look at John Garrett. He's closed in quite a bit of distance on the guys in front of him. Garrett still listed 2 laps down. We're going to see how it pans out for him, but looks like maybe that short pit strategy, that undercut, may work out into Garrett's advantage here by the time it's all said and done. Thad Miller going to work his way back onto pit road. The 13 machine back to pit road. Race leader Chris Medford continuing to show the way, but I believe he is saving some fuel. Giving up a lot of ground over the course of the past 4 laps. Medford out front now. What was once a 4-second advantage now to just 1 second. And looking at the lap times, definitely a tenth or two off from what Brandon Medford, your pole sitter, is running right now in second. So maybe stretching the fuel a little bit is Chris in that 46. And there's race leader to pit road. Race leader Chris Medford gonna head to pit road. That's gonna hand over the race lead back once again to your pole sitter. First time he's led a lap here tonight. He's gonna make it back around and back to the stripe. Will Medford be able to stay out and lead a lap? Here comes Cody Giles. Medford's got to go the distance of this front stretch. Giles to the pit road. Cody will not attempt to lead a lap here, and Brandon Medford officially now for the first time leads a lap. So your pole sitter waits until lap 141 to lead a lap here tonight. There you can see Chris Medford making his way off of pit road back up to speed, and Troy Radford coming to pit lane 13 laps sooner. There it is. Undercut has worked out. It has panned out for Radford, the Lucky Finn Project number 94. Now your new race leader at the front of the field, showing the way off of turn 4. Will cross the line. Lap 142 goes on the board. So as we close in on 3/4 of the way through tonight's Thunder Ridge 100, we want to take a moment to thank each and every one of the sponsors coming on board here this season with the Colonial Clash Racing Series, presented to you by 1776 Motorsports, Girotech, Machines Solutions, and support your home for Haas CNC machines. You can find all you need right there at Girotech. Goose Graphics for all your iRacing wraps, needs, liveries. They've got it all. Check them out at Goose Graphics. Also coming on board for a handful of sponsored races this season. Big time shout out to Woodard Automotive, as well as Oot Renovations coming on board. Back once again, Pro Cup Racing Experience. They got a lot of great track events coming up in the near future. Check them out at ProCupRacingExperience.com. As always, big shout out to Bud Kicker for all your haptic transducer. Made to make you feel it. Every sound, every explosion, every rev of the engine. The future is feeling. Feel what you've been missing at Kicker. Mountain Mafia Kennels, the best bully breeders in Western North Carolina. That's right, you heard it right here from David the Cave and Turn 3 Racing Network. Check out Mountain Mafia Kennels. You can find them on Instagram as well as Facebook. And I tell you what, Cash and Lucy, round 2. Pups available and ready. The best American bullies you could possibly find in the area. Have one myself. If you don't believe me, get up with me. I'll show you. These guys are absolute monsters. Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet also coming on board, sponsoring here with the Turn 3 Racing Network. So a big shout out to everybody over there located in the Newton, North Carolina. Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet, we do appreciate all you do over there. Your original Intimidator spot. While you're there, while you're shopping for a new car, don't forget about the souvenir area over there. Authentic Intimidator gear. You can find it at DaleEarnhardtChevrolet.com. So that's going to be your sponsor plugs. We're going to get back to the racing action. Here you see Troy Radford trying to work his way around some lap traffic. It's 7 of Ricky Gonzalez down 5 laps here, but still holding strong on the bottom of the racetrack. Big damage on the right side of that Lucky Finn Project number 94 machine. Chris Medford slowly but surely reeling him in. Cody Giles trying to reel him in as Brendan Medford catching up to the tail end of Giles. A little further back through the field, we've got battles for position. Let's go back here. Let's check out the 74 of Dustin Franklin trying to run up there and grab a spot away from Thad Failer. The lap machine in between them right now. That's the 13 of Thad Miller, down multiple laps here, but Miller still running strong. With less than 50 laps to go, downhill side of things here tonight. Drivers little off pace in the back. We're going to take a look right here. We haven't mentioned much about him here tonight. John Gutekunst with a little bit of a rough go, only able to make up one position from where he qualified. Gutekunst runs in ninth. Rough night as well for the man right here in that Lick It and Snick It. Number 66 Fort Worth screen printing Chevy Silverado. John Garrett only up one position from 11th to 10th. Trying to have a good point stay here at Bristol, and well, really walking away from Bristol with the top 10. I'll take it. We'll jump around the track a little bit. Let's see what we can see, find what we can find. There you can see Brandon Pamitat kind of all alone right here. As the battle between Smalling and Failer continues. Smalling going to drop to the bottom of the racetrack. Take that Pro Cup Racing Experience number 21 into the 6th position. Now up 10 positions from where he qualified. Smalling moving forward. Who will be the concrete king? We thought it was clear and cut earlier, but now green flag pit cycle and race strategy has shaken things up At the front of the field, Troy Radford showing the way. He's got 13 lap older tires in the man. Right behind him, Chris Medford, who has pretty much dominated this race down to the bottom of the racetrack. Goes Medford, and he's going to grab that position with a fair amount of ease. Radford going to look to fight back on the outside, but not going to be able to do much with it. Lap truck running the high line, so Radford going to have to switch his lanes in the 65 of Oop going to run that high lane once again, and Radford going to lose some ground. Troy losing some ground here with the lap traffic right beside him. Cody Giles able to make up some ground here, looking to make a pass now on the inside. Giles going to move around the lap machine. Look to the bottom of the racetrack. Look for second. Will he be able to pull the pass off? We'll see in turn 3. Back side by side on entry. Radford's got that high line momentum working off of 4. Still side by side fighting for that second position. Giles and Radford going at it as Chris Medford beginning to step away. Race lead now back to 1.5. A second and a half advantage for Medford at the front. Radford and Giles going at it for second and third. Meanwhile, Brandon Medford and closing that gap, running in 4th position. Your pole sitter here. A little bit of a rough go on these long runs for Medford, but he does have speed on the back end. Will it be enough to reel in your podium? The 5 of Scott Baker heads to pit road. Trouble for Baker. Crew out there changing tires, so it looks like Baker gonna head back out. Getting the thumbs up from the pit box, so indeed they are heading back out. Scott Baker. A little off on the strategy here tonight, but Baker's still going to finish the race, and that's what you want to do anytime you come to one of these tough little tracks, short track action, is make sure you run the laps out there and finish the race. Giles moving to the inside, not able to pull the slide job and clear off of turn number 2. We'll roll through 3 and 4 back across the line this time, and Radford will keep that second position. Ooh, running that wall. I would say pushing the cushion up there, but there is no cushion, just some dirt and marbles, and you don't really want to get into that dirt and dust up there. It could cause a little bit of problems, so as drivers continue around the track, we're going to look to see what we can see out there. Let's go right here with Brandon Pamitat. Working his way by the 47 of Ray Radford, listed 3 laps down here tonight is Radford. And a lot of good drivers down 1 lap. You see Thad Failer sitting in 7th. He's off of the lead lap. First driver 1 lap down. Race leaders beginning to close in on the tail end of Brandon Pamitat, who's sitting in that 6th position, about 11 and a half, almost 6 seconds back from your race. 11, almost 6. 11, almost 12 seconds back from your race leader. So things going to get interesting here in just a handful of laps. Chris Medford, there you can see him working his way through the start-finish line. Clicking them off in a hurry. Long green flag runs here tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway, so you know you'll want to do it. If you haven't already, show these drivers some love and appreciation. Join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Drop these drivers that thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here with the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of our dedicated fans, friends, family, or one of our many sponsors, We do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us. So while you're here, give yourself a pat on the back and show these drivers some love and drop that thumbs up. 200 laps of racing at Bristol Motor Speedway and only one caution coming out on lap number 48. Long green flag run to finish things off here tonight. What a race. What a night under the lights. We started off in the sun. We will finish it under the bright lights here at Bristol. So let's look at something as well. Let's look at the weather report. There you can see track temperature did go up a little bit, but the heat that these drivers are putting into the track. So even as the sun has went down, the air temperature has cooled off a little bit. Still a lot of heat being generated out there by the 17 cars on the lead lap. Looked like Scott Baker still under the hood in that 5 machine, trying to figure it out. Will he be able to get back on the track? We'll have to wait to find out. Meanwhile, third and fourth going at it. How about the pass for position? Giles grabbed that third spot away from Bradford for a moment, but here comes that Lucky Finn project. Number 94 trying to make it a Charity Motorsports podium lockout. Looking to split up the party is that 6. Forward screen bringing renovations, number 6 Chevy Silverado looking to break up the Charity Motorsports party on the podium right now. Medford, Radford showing the way. Ooh, close through 3 and 4. Will we see a bump and run? Not much to talk about, not much to say at the front of the field. We're going to stay right here with the battle for third and fourth. Radford and Giles going at it here. They've been battling for about the past 4 to 5 laps. Here comes the 74 of Dustin Franklin, bottom of the racetrack. Fresh tires for Franklin. He made an extra pit stop. It's going to be listed 3 laps down. Not quite sure about this strategy here. Definitely not enough time to make up enough time. So a little bit of an odd strategy there. We said we were going to keep our eye on the undercut and how it worked out for John Garrett. Well, unfortunately, ended up moving right back to where he was before the round of green flag pit stops. Right there, sitting in the 10th position, 2 laps down. First driver listed 2 laps down here tonight. Garrett with just a little bit of a rough go here from Bristol. Brandon Pamitat and John Gutekunst going at it for position. Gutekunst has that 7th position. Pamitat wants it back. Ray Radford going to go by Ricky Gonzalez for the 15th position. Meanwhile, front of the field remains the same. Medford leads. Medford, Radford sitting in 3rd. Giles going at it. So with just 4 laps to go, let's keep it here with the closest panel near the front of the field. Running in 3rd right now inside of his Lucky Finn project, Chevy Silverado. Troy Bradford is trying to keep a hungry Cody Giles out of the podium, making a Charity Motorsports podium finish here. We'll take a look off the tail end just over that rear spoiler. You can see some damage on the tail end of Bradford, but for now holding well. The race leader's going to come off the turn for this time. Popsicle sticks on display, just 2 laps to go. And it's just 2 laps to go, and we'll get the white flag next time around out of turn number 4. White flag flies. Final lap here from Bristol Motor Speedway. What a run as we look inside as Chris Medford heads down into turn number 3 for the final time. Back outside the truck and across the line. Checkered flag flies. Your race winner, the 46 of Chris Medford. He'll lead the vast majority of tonight's race. Walk away with the fastest lap in race trim walk away with the most laps led, and he's going to walk away with, I believe this is going to be his third win on the season. Brandon Medford going to come home in second with Troy Radford locking out the podium here tonight. That's going to be a Charity Motorsports podium lockout. What a run. What a night here from Bristol Motor Speedway. So as drivers, give the fans in the stands a moment for a little bit of photo opportunities. We're going to step away from the track, get things set up for post-race interviews. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And back live trackside at the conclusion of tonight's Thunder Ridge 100. What a race, what a night. We only seen one caution flag fly right near the stage break at lap number 48. Clean and green from that moment on. What a run, what a night. Some great racing action at the end of tonight's race. And we're going to move right along and let's see if we can't grab a few words with the man that finished in third here tonight. Great battle coming to the checkered flag. Troy, it's Dave. You got a copy?
I do, Dave. How you doing today, bud?
Doing good, man. How you doing? How you feeling?
You know, it was a struggle. So today has been a very, very long day. We drove 10 hours today to get back in time to race tonight. And then I had some mechanical issues for about the first 3 quarters of the race. So it was an interesting one.
Yeah, you seem to really like that middle to high lane. Was that the preferred lane of choice? It looked like most of the drivers went to the bottom for a moment, then everybody kind of migrated to the top.
So ideally around here, I do like the bottom. However, I've got this problem that crops up every once in a while where I get some brake fade and it won't go away. So it's like the brake's dragging down the straightaway. So as soon as we got in to go green, I saw that brake fade show up. So the only way to fix that is to literally unplug my pedals from the computer and plug them back in. So I couldn't get that fixed until we got that green flag stop about 3/4 of the way through the race. And so I'm like, I have 13 seconds to hope my pedals come back.
Well, we're glad you weren't having to clean the windshield at the same time. I mean, that seems like a lot going on. But
It definitely was, man. It did some weird things because in practice it wasn't doing that. The car felt real good, and then it was just whatever it was doing to the car, it was destroying the right front in the race. So my long run was terrible, which it seemed like it cleared up towards the end. But I short pit and I was on older tires, so it's like you couldn't really tell, but it felt like it was better.
Well, it seemed a little bit better from our vantage point. Even though you had those older tires, you were able to fend off the charge by the six. A little bit of contact late race, but that can be expected. It is Bristol. Things go down like that, but still, nonetheless, Troy, an amazing finish for you in your 94 crew. Going to walk away with the third spot here tonight, joining your teammates on the podium. So locking out all three positions. Gotta feel good about that. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
First of all, big shout out. My wife's grandmother's been in the hospital for about 4 or 5 days after a car accident. So we've been down in Georgia visiting them, and just big prayers got to her on recovery, and the whole family having to help out and figure out everything. Being 80 something years old and in a car crash is never easy. So just that's the main thing on our side right now.
Well, Troy, we'll send some prayers out for you guys as well. Tough to hear that. Sorry to hear about that, but at least you get to walk away from the track feeling a little bit good about yourself. As always, my man, it's been a pleasure, and we'll try to catch up with you next week.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
All right, there you go. Some words from the man that walks away in third, Troy Radford, with a good run. He's going to move from fourth tonight into that third position, but still a great, great run. Great points tonight for the man that came into tonight's race, sitting in second in the point standing. So Radford going to finish things off with a good run. And that's going to move us right along. We'll see if we can't talk to our pole sitter here tonight, last week's race winner, Brandon. How you doing, man?
I'm a little bummed back here in second place.
Well, a little bummed in second, but surrounded by your teammates, so we got to be feeling somewhat good about that.
Oh, definitely. If I was gonna lose anybody, it'd be those guys.
Well, man, you started from the pole position. Chris dove to the bottom early, grabbed that race lead. Looked like he kind of, I don't want to say played possum there for a moment, but before that stage caution, you had dropped back to about fourth, I believe, then made an amazing run back to the front. You had a lot of long run speed. So, was there any strategy to the way that you were playing these runs?
Well, I know Chris is really good about saving tires, but he's fast doing it. So I've always been good in these races about lap 30 on. So I didn't want to tear the right front up, and I didn't want to waste the right rear. So I was like, those guys can go race, they can do their thing, and I'll hopefully be there towards the end to make a run at them.
Well, you started to reel them on in. Yeah, I believe if you had a handful of more laps, we may have seen a battle for the race lead. But nonetheless, Brandon, backing up last week's race winning performance with yet another podium finish, gotta feel good about that. So before we let you go from Bristol here tonight, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous?
Yeah, Dave. Thanks for the broadcast. I always appreciate you. Do a great job. Thanks. Congratulations to Chris. He's always good at Bristol, no matter what we're driving. So he's always the guy to beat. I got lucky to win the pole. I just had a really good lap there. So, congrats to Troy too for having a good run. Thanks to all our charity motorsports teammates. They were watching on the live stream and cheering us on and trying to help us get up there and win. And thanks to Colonial Clash and all their sponsors and all the guys that put this league on. It's a great league. I mean, Bristol tonight, one caution. That's incredible at a short track. And then thanks to my family and everybody that allowed me to do this. And then a shout out to um, oh crap, our charities that we race for. Excuse me, had a brain fart there. But Ellie's Place, Kids Talk, Race for Riley, Zoe's Place, and Lucky Finn. We always race for a good cause. I'd like to give a shout out to those guys for doing great things for kids and people alike. So we love representing them and putting on a show for the fans.
Absolutely. Well, Brandon, we love catching up with you at the end of these things, and it seems to be a common theme this season. We'll continue to see if we visit you in these post race interviews. I'm sure we're going to talk quite often before the season's out. So until next time, my man, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, there you have it. Final few words for the man that walked away with the pole position here tonight. Led a handful of laps, but it took him quite a while to get there. Brendan Medford will park that 83 machine home in second, and that will move us right along to this man on screen, walking away with the checkered flag inside of his 46 Spartan Charity Motorsports machine. Your race winner, Chris Medford. How you doing? How you feeling after race win number 3?
I'm feeling great. How you, Dave?
Man, I can't complain. If I did, it probably wouldn't matter. I like how you just agree. You're like, yep, that's enough. Man, what a race here tonight. I mean, you started from third position. You dropped down to the inside right on the start of the race, grabbed the race lead, and pretty much never looked back.
Yeah, this is probably one of my strongest tracks. It just always has been. It just fits my style. There's a lot of guys working that bottom. I'm not a bottom feeder here. I can run if I need to be, but I just prefer to be up closer to the wall or middle groove. That way, if something messes up, you're not gonna push off turn 2 or turn 4 and just slam the wall. So the truck was strong. The track had a lot of grip. Trucks were very, very stable. And man, how about green flag pit stops here? I've never had that happen before.
Not only green flag pit stops, but one and only caution there right at the stage break. So you might as well just call it the stage break caution itself. So green flag racing for 48 laps, a quick little stage break, and then all the way to the end, man, flag to flag, green flag racing, an absolutely phenomenal job by everybody out there on track. But you seem to have this thing figured out. You walked away with big race leads, looked like lap traffic, kind of threw you off a little bit here and there, gave up some time, but still walked away with your third win well in hand. You said this is one of your favorite tracks. Do these guys need to be worried about any of the tracks coming up in the next few weeks?
Now, Dave, I can't tell my secrets.
Well, you can't blame me for trying to poke them out of you, though. Yeah, I mean, it's my job. I got to do it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of strong guys here. I feel like if Giles got around me, he would have took off. On the bottom, I feel like you need most of the whole track. Even though it's a truck off the wall, truck and a half off the wall, still scrubbing tires, scrubbing speed. So I feel like Giles got in front of me, probably would have took off. He had a real strong truck there. And then later on that, after the caution, I guess, me and him was battling out pretty hard. And then we got to lap traffic, and I think that's when he might have burned his stuff up, which it's tough to get around lap traffic here, and especially when they come off pit road. They got them fresh tires, and you're trying to race the guy in front of you, then trying to get ran over. So it was definitely a struggle tonight. I almost feel like it was some Mario Karts, just people coming out and not saying wrecking, but just racing hard. So I'm glad I went green flag there. Obviously got the win, but just in general it just shows what this league's capable of.
Absolutely. Great things out of this league here tonight. A lot of racing action all over the track. Um, but before we let you go and celebrate here tonight, Chris, walk away with your third checkered flag on the season. Would you like to give any final shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, maybe thank anybody back home?
Yep, I'd thank you, Dave, for the broadcast. Always great. Thanks to all the admins for putting up with all of us. Like I said, we put together a really, really strong group, and like I said, Bristol. I mean, hell, you gonna have green flag runs like that at Bristol. I've never been a part of one. I've been racing, iRacing for I don't know, 12 years or so. That's just phenomenal from everybody. Last week had a mishaps there. Darlington battle back. Um, Brandon can see the rear bumper, which is always nice for me to shake around in front of him. But there's a lot of strong guys tonight. Troy was really strong. Troy finished third, and he had, I think, 20 lap older tires than us. So, um, it just shows you, tire wear and just a lot of technique here. It helps out a lot, goes a long way. So, thanks for all the sponsors for the leagues. Our causes, Race for Riley, Zoe's Place, Ellie's Place, Mission 22, Lucky Finn Project. We just, like we always say, we always love racing for those causes, and even if we don't get a donation, people know they're out there. So, that's what it's all about. And I'm sure we're gonna, like I told you before, I think we're gonna have another race sometime. Not sure when, but we'd love to have you a part of it, either driving or broadcasting.
Well, we'll have to see how all the scheduling shakes out and works out. We'll see if we can't join you trackside or in the cars or trucks, whatever it may be. Been a while since I've climbed out the cave, so might need to dust off the wheel and get out there on the track. We'll see how it all goes and works out, though. Chris,
Hey man,
congratulations.
shake and bake.
Oh heck yeah, we go if it works out and I'm free. Sorry fans, I'm not going to be bringing it broadcasted. I'll bring you live from inside the cockpit, but I'm going to get out here and rough these guys up a little bit. It's been a while since I've rubbed fenders with you.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Like I said, it'd be sweet to have a bunch of guys broadcast, and then whoever's doing the actual broadcast hop to their stream and show them driving and everything else. That'd be pretty sweet. Better than NASCAR is what Dave does.
Well, we try to do what we do. And man, you just continue to do what you do out there on the track. Amazing job here tonight, dominating performance on the concrete here at Bristol Motor Speedway. So again, Chris, until next time, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
Thanks, Dave. I appreciate you.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from the man walking away with the top spot, dominating performance here in the Thunder Ridge 100. Chris Medford walks away with his third win of the season and trying to convince me to jump out of the booth and on track. We'll see how it all works out. We'll see if it pans out with scheduling and obligations and things of that nature, but you never know. Look for the future. You may see Dave back out on the track. And it sounds like producers hitting those buttons, so they're ready to roll. You know the sounds. You know it's time for us to run down tonight's unofficial race results in the Thunder Ridge 100 right here from Bristol Motor Speedway. Grabbing the top spot, third checkered flag on the season for the 46 Spartan Transportation Chevy Silverado of Chris Medford. Brandon Medford, your pole winner, will walk away in second with Troy Radford. The 94 Lucky Finn Project Chevy Silverado rounding out your podium tonight, and that's going to be a Charity Motorsports lockout on the front of this field. Cody Giles going to slide home in fourth with Thomas Smalling parking that Pro Cup Racing Experience number 21 home in fifth. Thad Failer back in sixth. John Gutekunst's going to walk away from Bristol tonight up 3 positions from where he qualified. The 41 will slide home in seventh. 48 U.S. Air Force machine of Brandon Pimentan will come home in 8th, while the Pro Cup Racing Experience number 20 of Spencer Teal finishes in 9th. John Garrett in the 66 Lick It and Stick It Fort Worth Screen Printing Silverado finishes in 10th. Scott Claude Felter, your highest running Ford F-150 in the field, at number 8 will finish in 11th. 74 of Dustin Franklin finishes in 12th with Thad Miller back in 13th. 14th to 9th belongs to the 60 of Zachary Woods with Ray Radford in 15th. Ricky Gonzalez back in 16th. 17th belongs to James Oot with Scott Baker. Rounding out the field here tonight. That's going to do it for us here in the booth. We're going to get ready to cut off the lights and roll up the cords. But before we go, if you haven't already, join us in that push to 3,000 subscribers. Show these drivers some love and drop that thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash that bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Dave of the Cave, or anybody else back At the Turn 3 headquarters, we do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're sliding in to say hey, or you are one of the dedicated fans, friends, family, or one of our many sponsors. We do appreciate each and every one of you. Without you, there would be no us, so stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet ya in Turn 3.